I had a boyfriend, yeah, he did this, he did that. Oh, let me tell you, it's fun. It's fun. Hi my loves, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a new video on my channel. I'm actually Caitlin. I'm a medical doctor, a business owner, and a content creator. I create productivity, medicine, and lifestyle videos, just like lifestyle in general, life of a girl trying to secure the bag, trying to balance a lot of things at once, and everything in between. So it's been a minute since I answered you guys' questions. You guys typically send me a couple of questions either in my comments, my DMs, and I posted a question sticker a while back as well, and you guys sent me questions and I never got to answering them, and so I finally got time to film this video and we're gonna answer those questions today. So I have here a bowl of fruit. I'm just having watermelon, not much. I got a bunch of questions, a variety of questions, some personal, some school, some work, some life related questions, and I want to answer as many as I can. I don't want this video to be too long. I don't like it when I post long videos because you guys don't watch them. My recent video you guys didn't watch, and I'm very upset about that because I plugged you guys and you guys don't appreciate me, okay? But anyway, without wasting too much time rambling, let's actually get into the video. I have the questions on my phone and we're gonna get right into it. So the first question, I guess I should probably start with this one, is do you mind telling us where you studied, like which university did you study? And then someone else also asked me which university I studied at. Someone else asked me where did I study? And the simple answer to this, I guess this is a question now. I mean, obviously, probably if you've known me for a while, or if you've been following me for a while, you're probably wondering why people suddenly asking where she studied, and it's been over 6 years since she, you know, and she's done with a degree now. Like, why isn't it important? So all throughout my neighbor's shoes have started. So all throughout my uni life, I never shared like where I went to uni. If you were smart though, if you are very observant, some of you are, you would have noticed like on my Instagram stories sometimes I would post like something with my school logo in the background, and then you like zoomed in. Some of you did do that and tried to be weird, but anyway, I did my studies for 5 years actually. I did my studies at Jiangsu University in China, and then for my final year I went to Botswana. I was at Nyangagwe Referral Hospital in Town. That's where I did my electives for my final year. And the reason that I never shared this information was because obviously, number one, safety reasons and like just privacy reasons. People are weird. They can, I don't know, they can be weird, they can do stuff. And number two, I also just didn't want people to think at the time, like when I was specific about not sharing where I go to school, is because a lot of people will ask, where do you go to school, with the intention of also going there, because obviously like on my Instagram you see it's all books and this and that, so maybe you get the impression that okay, at this school it's all seriousness, it's a good school. But my Instagram is not a reflection of the university. My Instagram is a reflection of my life. Okay, my Instagram is a reflection of my life at the university, and your experience is not going to be the same experience that I had. I will admit I had a very nice experience as compared to probably majority of people that went there, and obviously I did have my hard times, but I never shared that. And that's the thing about social media, you take what you see, you don't see like the behind the scenes, and I never ever want to be accused of misleading people, and that is why I never shared where I went to school, because some people will just, oh, she goes to university, she's a YouTuber, she's med school, she's doing well, she gets scholarships, I also want to get there, I will also be able to get scholarships, I'll also be doing this, I'll also be doing that, and it's not like that at all. So that is that. And then obviously Botswana, I was a foreigner there. You don't want like to share that information and then people find you and then they're being weird. So that was the only reason that I didn't share that. But when people like DM'd me personally with the intentions of also coming to do their electives, I generally gave them the information and I showed them how to do it. That was a very long answer for one question. I really hope you guys appreciate me taking the time to answer these questions, because I get these questions a lot and I want to answer these things and put it out there, because these are things that I get asked like on a daily basis. Have I always been private about my love life? Yes, actually no. Actually, when I think this story deserves a story time in its own video, but you guys would be surprised. I had a boyfriend, yeah, that I left Ukraine with and moved to China with. This is something I've never shared on the channel, but anyway, so fast forward to whatever happened. Turns out this guy cheated, he had a whole baby with another person, whatever, and then we broke up. But that relationship, I actually used to post a lot. I used to post him, we had matching hoodies, matching shoes. I remember he had these Jordans and I had the Jordan heels of those Jordans. Anyway, but other than that, that's the only relationship I've ever like shared, and I don't even know why I did. I guess because he was, no, actually I don't know, I don't have a reason for ever having been. No, but then even my next relationship after that, I used to post like here and there. The thing is, you guys are sleeping. You guys sleep a lot. If you guys watched my, actually no, I don't want to tell you guys to be observant, because then you gotta start being observant. But I actually post a lot and you guys just don't catch on to it. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. But yes, I've generally always been a private person. Like even like people that I went to school with, they don't know me as well as they think they do. I'm that person that like I'll post a lot without actually posting anything, if that makes sense. Not a question, but loving your popping glowing skin. Thank you. How am I finding Dar so far? So it's obviously been almost a year since I've moved to Tanzania and living in Dar es Salaam, obviously. The only other place I've been to in Tanzania is Dodoma, which is the capital city. Yes, surprise, surprise, Dar es Salaam is not the capital city of Tanzania, for those of you that didn't know. But yeah, Dar is hot. Let's just get this one out there. Dar is hot. It is hot. I wish I'd left like all the jerseys I brought for the cold days at home and like brought like crop tops instead or something, because it's that hot. It rains. When it rains, it's horrible. I hate it when it rains because there's like floods and stuff, because maybe like the roads and the drainage system aren't that great where I stay. But generally speaking, I love it. The people are nice, nosy a little bit, which I don't like, but I think that's mostly where I work. But like generally speaking, Tanzanians are very friendly people, very welcoming. I have not experienced any xenophobia. In fact, what is the opposite of xenophobia? I feel like that's what I've experienced rather than actually like facing any discrimination or anything like that. I'm very happy, very comfortable. Yeah, I'm good, I'm great, fantastic. Living in Tanzania, cultural shock, food, language barrier. Food for me was a struggle to get used to, I don't want to lie. When I first got here, I lost a lot of weight. I lost weight, guys. I lost weight to the point where I had to pack all the clothes that I came with, put them in a suitcase and buy new clothes, and that's what I wore. And then like a few months back, that's when I started gaining weight again, and then I took my clothes back out of the suitcase and I've started wearing those clothes again, and I've continued to gain weight, which I honestly I don't mind, because the weight goes to the right places. Language barrier, I speak Swahili pretty fluently now. I don't have struggles at all in the hospital. I don't have struggles at all wherever I go. I'm pretty okay. So yeah, it took me a few months to get used to, like it took me a few months to get to the point where I can see a patient without anyone at all. Maybe even a few weeks, because obviously when I got here, I made it a point to know like all the basic things I need to know, like when I plug a patient, when you admit a patient, what do I need to ask, what's vomiting, what's this, what's that. I learned all those major words, major sentences first, and then obviously after that you build on. So like within a few weeks I would actually survive like alone. And then obviously after that, then you start to speak like proper grammatically correct sentences. Obviously I still make mistakes here and there because I haven't learned this language in like a formal institution. I'm learning literally from listening to conversations and speaking every day, which is quite impressive if I say it so myself, because Swahili is the 10th language that I've learned. Does planning get overwhelming in the sense of spontaneous social in the sense of when spontaneous social events happen? Spontaneous social events honestly wouldn't derail my planning, but spontaneous important like work stuff can come up. Like for example, let's say I planned on leaving the hospital at 5 on the dot. and then at 5 on the dot I'm busy doing a procedure, and I end up going home at 8 p.m. Obviously that's going to derail my plans, which is exactly what happened with like my last video. I had a post scheduled for like 5:30, and I had planned to leave the hospital at 5 o'clock on the dot, so by the time I get home I post it, share it, interact with people, you know, because that kind of stuff affects your views and how the video just does in general. And I left the hospital like at 9, and by the time I got home, the video only had so many views. Obviously only the people that are actually notification gang had watched the video, and obviously that affects how the video does, so it does suck. But also other things in general, like sometimes I'm too tired after work to do what I plan to do, so I just come home and sleep. And so that's why I always emphasize that it's important not to over plan. It's important to plan but make room for like failure of, you know, execution of those plans. I plan to move on to another country. Can you give me some advice, please? First of all, if you're moving to a place that has like a different race, a different language, a different totally different from you, totally new to, for example, when I moved from home to Russia and then to China, that's like totally different places. You want to take into consideration that you're different and embrace those differences and be secure in yourself, because when you go somewhere else there's going to be a lot of influences on you, and you need to stand strong and stand your ground and all that good stuff. The language, be ready and willing to learn the language and speak to the people there, and not be like a snob, because obviously it's going to be very hard for you to get customized. It's going to be very hard for you to get used to a place when you can't even speak the language. And the easiest way to get used to a place and get settled and be comfortable somewhere is to speak with the people and interact with them. And then also just like always take bits and pieces of home with you wherever you go, so you can make that new home feel homey. That's what I always do, whether it's just like your morning slippers, your morning gown, food, biltong, whatever it is that you need to take, just do that. And then also just like do it, okay? Like get all the experience you need to travel alone and whatever before you get hitched and all that, you know. That's my advice. Have you found your purpose in life? Yes and no. I feel like definitely yes, because medicine is definitely what I'm supposed to be doing. Even if I have to stay at work until like 11 p.m, sometimes I don't feel it, because I'm genuinely enjoying what I do. Like I genuinely enjoy interacting with my patients. Like when they're happy and their families are happy, that makes me happy as well, and it makes me feel like, okay, the suffering is worth it. But at the same time, no, because I haven't reached the level that I want to get to yet, if that makes sense. I never envisioned myself as like a person just like being a general practitioner. I never envisioned myself being a GP, a general practitioner. Oh, English is hard. I never envisioned myself being a general practitioner for like my whole life. I always had the dream that I'm gonna go and specialize, bring my equipment, open my own practice, and be an independent person, be a specialist, independent of anyone, have my own thing going. And life has just shown me that life is hard, okay? So I don't know how possible that's going to be in the near future, and I don't even know if you know what, I don't know. But yeah, so that's the no. But the yes, definitely, I definitely feel fulfilled in what I'm doing, and yeah, God is good. Which rotation has been the most interesting so far? This is an easy answer for me. Emergency medicine. I would never these chickens were home. I would never have imagined that I would enjoy emergency medicine, because in school we didn't do emergency medicine like in an interesting emergency medicine type of way, if that makes any sense at all. It was just okay, these are the important topics, these are the emergency topics, learn them. But when you're actually on the ground and then like a patient comes, trauma case, and then you run, you do a fast ultrasound, you do this, you do that, oh, let me tell you, it's fun. It's fun. Doing procedures, I enjoy that stuff. Why I enjoy emergency medicine is because you get to do like the physician side of things, but also have like the fun surgical side of things. So it's like the perfect balance of like surgery and medicine in one. And I like that for myself, because I cannot commit myself to surgery for like the rest of my life and be spending my whole life in theater. no ways. And at the same time, I cannot imagine myself a physician for the rest of my life. It's just like, no, I cannot. I need that thrill of like doing procedures and stuff, and that is why emergency medicine is like the best rotation I've had. Obviously, during my final year rotations, I said that obs and gynae was fun, which to be honest, it is fun because you get the surgery thing, but it's not like too hectic like surgery. But that's just, yeah, no, obs and gynae is not for me, okay? And so yeah, emergency medicine, easy question, easy answer. You have to notarize your documents before they were sent to Botswana or just certified here. My documents were notarized in China before they left China because I don't want the hassle of finding out that I have to get them notarized again and then my documents are already with me. So obviously this is relevant to those of you that are COVID graduates because we didn't get to physically graduate in person. We had already left China and wherever else you're studying, and possibly won't be able to go back to your uni and graduate online, and then they'll send your degree to you. Make sure that your uni does everything that needs to be done before they send that degree to you. Otherwise, you're going to have just a piece of paper that is not valid. How do I manage staying alone? Bold of you to assume that I stay alone. Very bold of you. How do you keep your body snatched? I generally don't eat bad. Like, I eat, I mean, I can't say I eat healthy, like in terms of I eat only brown bread, I count my calories, I don't eat junk food, but generally speaking, I've stopped drinking fizzy drinks for I don't know, it's been how many months since I've had a fizzy drink. I eat a lot of fruits. I typically have like, I eat normal food and normal portions. Obviously sometimes I binge and stuff, but generally I just eat properly, and I just also genes, guys, like, and God's favor, because I've never been a person that struggles with my weight. If anything, I've struggled to gain weight, and so you know, my body, God loves me, okay, let's just leave it there. So I hate when people make that noise, but anyway, so these are all the questions that I had time for. I think this video is already way too long. There are two main questions that I keep getting, actually three main questions I keep getting over and over and over and over again. Please let me know if you would like me to do specific videos on these topics. Number one, how to do your internship in Tanzania. Number two, how to do your final rotations outside China, specifically in an African country. And number three, scholarships in China and how to apply to study in China. Also, that's 4 things. Let me know if you want me to discuss those things in detail, because I've discussed these things in a lot of videos, but people keep asking, so I feel like maybe I should break it down into like a specific video, a detailed video for that specific topic. Let me know and I'll do that. This is what my new series Cuppa Chats with TheStylishMed is for, so let me know please if you'd like me to discuss this, and I'll be sure to do that. If you haven't checked out my new series, I recently started a new series, Cuppa Chats with TheStylishMed, where I'm going to be just basically going in depth for a brief period of time about, you know, topics that you guys ask me about all the time. So things like studying, productivity, lifestyle, like just like basic stuff, as well as like plugging you guys. Like last week I plugged you guys with the habit tracking app, that if you haven't watched my video from last week, definitely go and watch that. I plugged you guys, and I'm going to be sharing like gems and just a piece of information. If someone has a question that I feel like a lot of people would benefit from hearing the answer, I'll do an episode on that. And so each episode is going to be like a different topic or a different question or a different plug. So yeah, do definitely go and check that out, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, leave a comment, let me know if you have any more questions for me. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, turn on your notifications if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video.